Look closely at almost any sweatshirt, and you will find a small ribbed triangle stitched just below the collar. It is a detail most of us wear constantly, yet rarely notice. Today, it passes as a decorative accent, a stylistic quirk that designers add to break up a solid block of cotton. But this specific stitch is a piece of preserved engineering. It is an artifact from the early days of 20th century athletics, designed to solve a specific physical problem. The clothes we wear every day often carry hidden histories, functional solutions from the past, quietly disguised as modern aesthetics. A century ago, athletic training was remarkably uncomfortable. Athletes routinely practiced in heavy wool garments. Wool was durable and warm, but it absorbed massive amounts of sweat, becoming increasingly heavy, itchy, and restrictive as a workout dragged on. As collegiate sports and boxing culture expanded rapidly, athletes needed clothing that actually supported intense physical exertion, dynamic movement, and heavy perspiration. The solution arrived in the form of cotton fleece. It was a lighter, softer fabric that offered immediate warmth without the abrasive friction of wool. This innovation birthed the very first iteration of the modern sweatshirt. However, early cotton fleece had a major structural vulnerability. Under the stress of repeated violent motion and the saturation of heavy sweat, the collars would warp. They stretched out permanently, losing their shape entirely after only a few uses. A comfortable fabric is ultimately useless to a boxer or a football player if it physically falls apart under the basic strain of human movement. Manufacturers needed a way to reinforce the neckline without making it rigid. Their answer was the V-insert, a triangular panel of fabric stitched directly into the high-stress zone below the collar. Ribbed cotton behaves differently than woven fleece. It expands under tension before pulling back into place. This shock absorption meant athletes could pull garments over their heads repeatedly, while the ribbed triangle absorbed and safely distributed the kinetic force. It also served a secondary, highly practical purpose. Positioned squarely at the upper chest, the thick patch acted as a physical sponge, capturing heavy perspiration where it accumulated most during intense cold weather training. This tiny addition was pure industrial problem-solving. It was an essential piece of performance technology built entirely for athletic endurance. By the 1930s and 40s, the sweatshirt was the undisputed uniform of American collegiate athletics. It was worn constantly across university training camps and fields. In the post-war era, the garment crossed over. It moved beyond strict athletic utility and appeared on global stages, becoming an emblem of American sportswear. Decades later, the silhouette found its way into entirely different arenas. Through skateboarding and hip-hop, the relaxed fit became a foundational piece of everyday streetwear. Athletic gear steadily transformed. It transitioned from equipment required for physical labor into a marker of youth identity and cultural style. Concurrently, the textile industry underwent enormous technological advancements. Manufacturers moved beyond basic cotton, developing advanced synthetics, complex polyblends, and highly engineered performance fabrics. These new materials possessed inherent elasticity. They could stretch dramatically, hold their shape flawlessly, and manage moisture with incredible efficiency. This created a structural irony. With the invention of modern textiles, collars no longer warped. The V-insert was completely obsolete, yet manufacturers continue to cut and stitch this small triangle into high-tech, modern garments that absolutely do not need it. Once a physical object achieves iconic status, its visual language persists. The design outlives the specific engineering problems that originally brought it into existence. Designers call this a skeuomorph. It is a functional feature from an older era preserved in a newer design, kept out of aesthetic tradition. We surround ourselves with these design ghosts constantly. We wear heavy copper rivets on modern denim that will never see a gold mine, and storm flaps on trench coats worn strictly in office buildings. We are drawn to these obsolete details because they communicate something specific. A small ribbed stitch signals rugged construction and careful craftsmanship. It provides a subconscious anchor to the past. Clothing provides physical protection, but we use it to maintain an emotional connection to enduring traditions. There is a deep psychological weight attached to the sweatshirt itself. Its oversized silhouette represents warmth, recovery, and absolute familiarity. Tiny preserved details like the neck triangle act as silent reinforcements. They carry a nostalgic gravity we feel every time we pull the garment over our heads. So the next time you put one on, look closely at the collar. You are wearing a quiet remnant of early 20th century boxing gyms and muddy collegiate football fields, hiding right in your casual everyday wardrobe. Textile engineering eventually solved the problem of fabric stretch through chemistry and better looms. Yet the triangle remains, a durable piece of athletic history, hiding in the seams of modern life.
For more content like this, like and subscribe to our channel.